I've got a very messy cart, so it is time to peel away the clutter and tell y'all what I've been doing for the past few months. The cart in my living room is really a catch-all for stuff that I like to keep in arm's reach, but I need to get better at setting a time to clean it off. Maybe just once a month. I need to clear out anything that I'm not currently using, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. It has been a while. I am so grateful for your patience in hanging in there with me while I have been dealing with some health issues. Let's just explain a little bit what happened. All right, a little history. In 2022, I got sepsis and I was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks, and it was pretty bad. But I made it through, and I was very happy about that, of course, as you can imagine. They said at the time that it was in the area of my ovary, but there were colon infection present. I'm not exactly sure of the exact terminology. Healing took a long time, and the thing about sepsis is that once you get it, it's more likely that you will get it again. And that's exactly what happened last year. So I got it again, went back to the hospital. This time it was only for 3 or 4 days, somewhere in that area. And that sparked a bunch of testing. After months of testing, we discovered that I had diverticulitis. Let me say that right. And so I made an appointment and we decided to go ahead and go in, and they were going to remove both ovaries and see if any of the colon needed to be removed. What ended up happening was they removed one ovary. The other one looked fine, so they decided to leave it. They did remove about 6 inches of my colon. Waiting for the surgery was very, very challenging. I had tons of anxiety, and I had I don't know how else to describe it except that I felt like I kind of had a sour stomach all the time. It was pretty clear that the sepsis was going to return on repeated intervals if we didn't address it. So I decided it was better to address it while I was healthy-ish and not wait until another sepsis attack, because if everything's inflamed, it's even more dangerous to do the surgery, right? So that's what happened. We did the surgery. I was in the hospital for about a week, and then I came home and was recovering. So that was the first part of this year's excitement. Then I came home and had a 1, 2, 3 punch, basically. My computer died, so I wasn't able to film anything. I I was still healing anyway, so it wasn't like I was ready to begin filming, but still, I was not prepared to handle that financial situation. Then my little Clay ended up dislocating his hip. Poor guy. He is 16. So I was hoping that we could avoid surgery, and thankfully we were able to avoid surgery. But I did make a trip to the pet ER, and that was not fun. But still, they were able to relocate his hip, and they put him in these hobbles to kind of help him so that his legs wouldn't splay out and then he would re-injure himself. That happened the middle of March. He is off the hobbles now, and I'm certainly grateful about that, as is he, definitely. Several days after we brought Clay home from the ER, then Colt got into the top shelf of the cart, and I didn't realize he could do that. So he got into Clay's medicine. He bit the side off of the lid so that he could pop the lid off, and then he ate the remaining pieces or the remaining pills of the anti-inflammatory while I was putting Clay to bed. That dude. So we made another trip to the pet ER. But he's well now too. Everyone is doing well. Clay's continuing to recover. I'm continuing to recover. It's slow going, for me at least. And I'm working on getting my stamina back. They did say that my surgery went much longer than they expected, and when I went in for my follow-up, they said that my stamina recovery or whatever would take like 3 to 4 months. So still working on that, but I do want to get back into decluttering, even though I'm very rusty. I feel I feel rusty regarding decluttering, regarding video editing and doing voiceovers, so bear with me here. Lisa got me set up on a new computer and they installed this new program because I was using Movie Maker. The problem is it's way more complicated than my old program, and there are tutorials out there, but I was getting frustrated. So I went and found a link to the old Movie Maker and I've downloaded it. So that's what I'm working on. I still plan to learn the new system because eventually I'm sure that Movie Maker is not going to work because it was discontinued years ago. So I'm sure that that is going to be an issue here eventually. The good news is that everything is working much better on the new computer because it's new and it has a much bigger capacity to do things. So I'm very excited about that as well. All right, moving on. I have to say thank you because I did put out an update about myself and I posted some links where people could contribute to my computer fund. I am very, very grateful for all of the help. I really do have the best community on the internet. I just love you guys all so much. The peelers are great, and it doesn't even matter if you can contribute or not. Just having you here and supporting me and sending me your good wishes and healing vibes and commenting and subscribing, it's all really wonderful and amazing and heartwarming. And I love it, and I love all of you. So thank you so much again. Okay, let's talk about what I'm actually doing in this video, and that is cleaning off my cart. As I mentioned before, my cart is where I like to put things that I want to have within arm's reach. Lately, really honestly, since last year, I have been just piling stuff up, and I need to have it be less piley, and that is what I'm gonna go ahead and do. All right, now we are at the top shelf. I had to eliminate most of the footage from the bottom shelf because I adjusted the camera and unfortunately it turned to filming my legs. So we're back in the old days, people, with my crazy film angles. Oh gosh. I got this little pink round rotating organizer and thought it would be perfect to put on the cart so I could have things like scissors, pens, combs, things like that. Inhalers. Yes, I lose track of my inhalers, so this is a new attempt to try to hang on to them so I know where they are and don't have to track them down all the time. One thing that I realized while I was going through this cart is that I am pretty good at decluttering things, as in going through and setting them in piles or boxes to be dealt with or moved to different places or thrown away and so on. I'm not always as good at putting those things where they need to be. So the pile will remain. That is something that I definitely want to work on right now. And it seems like a good thing to work on since I plan to be doing smaller projects for now while I kind of get back into the swing of things. Ultimately, I will get back to the living room. Or no, not the living room. The bedroom. I want to get back to the master bedroom because I pretty much dropped that while surgery was approaching. That was my last big project that I was working on. I want to finish up that room. It's backslid a little bit. It's not too bad, but I'm ready to have my bedroom be a nice little sanctuary. I would love to hear what projects you are working on, so please feel free to share that in the comments. I definitely want to know what y'all have been up to. Well, I've been having surgery and recovering and taking care of ailing pets. I just thought of something that I should have mentioned earlier when I was talking about the surgery and stuff and healing. I wanted to share that I absolutely am glad that I did the surgery when I did it, and that sour stomach feeling has gone away, along with that feeling of kind of like being on the decline, being on the consistent decline. There were definitely some difficult moments, and the week in the hospital was trying at times, but it definitely led to a positive outcome, and I would do it again, though hopefully I don't have to. Please excuse me as I get back in the practice of doing voiceovers. I feel a little bit like I'm a bit scatterbrained, kind of talking all over the place. Trying to remember, oh, is this how I do things? Okay. Yeah, I think it was nice to have a little bit of a break from decluttering, despite the fact that it wasn't like a vacation, really. I end up doing a lot of self-reflection and self-analysis when I do the project and the voiceover. And I think I I won't say burned out, but I needed a bit of a period in my life where I wasn't really analyzing myself quite as much. Emotional work is real work. It's very important to do. But there are times when you also can overdo it, or it's just like anything else. When you do a lot of physical work, you need to take a step back from that. As I mentioned before, I'm ready to get back into things, but I am just going to do it slowly and as I can. And I'm really grateful for you for sticking with me. I really thought I might lose a huge amount of subscribers while I was gone, but I mean, I did lose some, but most of you have just been patient and waiting for me to recover and come back. I'm so grateful. I've got all sorts of random little bits and bits of trash in that top part of the cart. So I'm going through and digging those out. I also found a crazy number of cords. I mean, one or two cords for things that I want to use or, want to place next to the item that I actually use it with. That's fine, but I definitely didn't need to have 10 different cords to things that aren't even on the cart. So, yeah, and little bits of trash like those eyeglass cleaner wipes, the packages for that. I came across a bunch of those. I'm still figuring out how I want to kind of store those. I've filled up my little pink organizer. Maybe I can just find a small cup or something that I can put those in. Something very simple. I will keep my current drink in the corner of that top that top bin. But yeah, Colt has been getting into those, and you might be able to see a little bit of liquid splashed onto that screen from oh, I've gone to the bathroom and come back and found the lid off my drink and the liquid on the computer, so or the monitor. Oh, that guy. He's so funny. Colt is finally getting to the point where he seems like he might be leaving the puppy stage. He will be 3 next month. So it took him some time, but which is not to mean that he is no longer feisty or energetic or a problem solver, except his solutions can sometimes cause my problems. Oh, but he's gotten better at settling down a bit more too sometimes. I definitely appreciate that. Clay's doing good too. He walks a little more stiffly. I've been trying to carry him around a bit since, the great dislocation. But ever since he got the hobbles off, he doesn't really want anything to do with that. I step in where I can, and so to kind of take the pressure off. And I don't let him do the stairs to the bed because they're pretty steep. I want to take them up to the mountains sometime, but I really can't do that for at least another month or so to give Clay's hip the best chance of staying. He needs to have as much rest as I can possibly convince him to get. It's pretty much the story there. So I'm not supposed to take him on long walks, which is good because I don't have the energy for long walks yet, but I do want to take him up to the canyons soon. Maybe next month. I am sorry to report that you don't get to see me finish clearing off that top shelf because what did I do? I set the computer on the stand or not the computer. I set my phone on my stand and set it all up, framed it nicely, and forgot to press the record button. Oh, I am going back to being a newbie, I guess. I've been away for too long. Oh, all right. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean the floor here. I forgot to mention that Bonnie helped me to adjust the shelves on the cart. I didn't realize that they had a little hex screw that I was just trying to lift it up and down and it wasn't really working out. No wonder it wasn't working out. So when she came over and visited and we did a live together, I'll link to that so you can check it out if you missed it. So now we're on to the sweeping stage. I'm getting stuff up off of the floor. I'm pretty happy about that. Let me tell you how I have set things up now. I have a hair detangler on the top shelf. I have a few pet medicines that the boys cannot reach. I have the current tarot deck that I'm using. My drink, of course, is there. What else have I got? Oh, a duster, a computer duster, some tissues, my oxygen counter, monitor. What do you want to call it? The thing you put on your finger and it tells you what your oxygen level is at. Words. I'm a writer, but words can be hard sometimes. Okay, on the second shelf, I have my current journal. I have a little baby printer that prints out like 2 by 3 inch pictures. I have a couple of portable chargers. I probably need to make sure that they are all charged up so that they can be ready to go. A couple of other little things that I might need to plug into my computer. A tarot deck that accidentally has some water damage on some of the cards. I need to figure out what I can do there. Because, yeah, probably 7 to 10 cards are water damaged. I don't want to get rid of the whole deck, so I gotta figure something out. I just joined a Facebook group that is designed to help you find like replacement cards if like you use a card or a card gets damaged, etc. So I'll see what I can find there. All right, so that's the second shelf. Oh, also my medicine holder. On the bottom shelf is a tarot journal, a separate journal that's a themed journal, a book about crystals, that pink rotating little spinner, and a camera. So that's where we're at. And here's this little guy who definitely needs to be groomed. The boys have an appointment for that scheduled for next week. I decided to wait. It's been a little bit longer than I like. But I wanted to give Clay a bit more recovery time before he got that done. Okay, let's take a look at our before and after. Here is the before, which is a very cluttered mess. Oh gosh. And now we've got the after. It's looking pretty good, I think. I'm pretty pleased with that. Very happy with how it looks now, and I'm going to make it a goal to clean off the cart once. That feels like an achievable goal for me. All right, as for next time, I need to clear away this corner again. So that's what we're going to tackle next.